After watching this video, you'll get a clear view of what you can do in Antibes. You'll see everything organized into categories: strolls, night strolls, markets, activities, museums, churches, beaches, garden, viewpoints. And you'll get our opinion on how worthwhile each of these categories really is, in a tier list format. We are a French family, former travel planners, and now we run a user-friendly France travel guide, culturefrancia.com. Check the description below this video. You'll find our pages dedicated to Antibes, plus our interactive map. A quick map overview to start. Antibes is right on the French Riviera, sitting along the sea, right next to the beautiful Cap d'Antibes headland and the seaside resort Juan-les-Pins. Now, the part of the city that is really worth checking out is totally walkable, about 2 kilometers across. Now, the strolls. First, the old town of Antibes. It's a neighborhood with roots going all the way back to ancient times, and for centuries it has been protected by fortifications. Today, when you walk around there, you go from busy spots to open squares and quieter little streets. You walk between old houses and shops, often painted in bright colors. It's this mix of different vibes and colors that gives Antibes' old town its really special charm. As you keep walking, the vibe keeps shifting. You might walk along a wide street where the sunlight hits just right, then end up in a tiny alley where everything feels more peaceful. Now, on the east edge of the old town, there is a walkway along the old defensive walls that runs by the sea. It gives you a clear view of the Mediterranean while staying in the vibe of the old town. Now, at the end of that walkway just mentioned before, you reach the port of Antibes, which goes from small boats all the way up to huge yachts. The port is lined on the west by ramparts where you can walk as well, and at the end you'll see the famous modern statue of Antibes, named Le Nomade. Now, south of the old town, there is a pedestrian seafront called Ponteil. It's running along the beach with the same name. If you want to keep strolling north of the port, in a spot that feels more nature than city, there is a walking path that also runs along the sea. Strolling during the day, it goes in letter A. Especially with the old town of Antibes, which has its own vibe, really different from the other main cities on the French Riviera. Now, the night strolls. If you are in Antibes when the evening temperature feels nice, make sure you visit the old town again to catch its nighttime vibe. Walking around during the night, it goes in B. In summer, the night vibe is almost as worth it as the vibe you get in the daytime. Now, the food and flea markets. In the old town, there is the main food market. It's under a long hall and you can find all kinds of good quality products there. Now, just a few streets away, on the Place Nationale Square, there is an open-air flea market twice a week. For markets, it goes in C. When you visit the old town, it's worth stopping by the market. Now, the activities. There are several activities you can do in Antibes: walking tours, food tours, and more. We've got a dedicated page on our website where you'll find a full list, with some provider recommendations for each. The link is in the description. Since Antibes is right by the sea, there are also water activities, like boat tours. And we've also got a separate page for those. The link is in the description. For tours, it goes in letter A+, between what you can do in the city and also the water activities, you have quite a lot of experiences to enjoy. Now the museums. Set in an old castle, there is a museum dedicated to Picasso. It's quite famous, and it was also Picasso's studio during a few months. You'll see works by the painter himself, as well as by some other artists. Now, west of the old town, in a small place, there is the Postcard Museum, where you'll see countless ones of all kinds. Now, the Archaeological Museum. It takes you back to the city's roots, where you'll see different types of local objects from ancient times. For museums, it goes in B, especially for the Picasso Museum, which is the cultural spot of the city. Now, the churches. First, the Antibes Cathedral. It's not particularly big for a city this size, but it has a nice neoclassical facade, and the inside is Romanesque in style. Now, the Saint Bernardin Chapel. It dates back to the 16th century and has quite a unique style and a pretty colorful interior. Now further south, Notre-Dame de la Garoupe, it used to be a sanctuary for sailors. You'll see its walls covered with maritime ex-votos. For churches, it goes in C. No impressive places, but each one has its own vibe and character. Now, the beaches. Located behind the ramparts, La Gravette is the main beach, and it's fully public. South of the old town, there is the Ponteuil beach. It's mostly public, with a beach club as well. And just a bit further down, there is Sally's beach, not very wide and fully public. For beaches, it goes in C. The beaches in Antibes are pretty decent, but you can find better ones along the French Riviera. Now, the garden. Out south, there is the botanical garden of the Villa Turet, where you'll see a mix of plant species from all over the world in a calm setting. For garden, it goes in C. If you have time, the botanical garden is nice, but there is not much else in Antibes. Now, the viewpoints. First, if you visit the Picasso Museum, you can also go up to its terrace. It's elevated and gives you a view over the promenade down below and the horizon. Now, north of the port, there is a former fortified defense spot. From up there, you'll have a view on the other side of the port and on the coastline. And out south, there is the Garoupe Lighthouse. It's the best viewpoint in Antibes. You'll have to climb its 116 steps to get a 360-degree view over the city and the headland. For viewpoints, it goes in letter A, especially with the lighthouse that gives a great panorama over the city and above all the surrounding nature. Now that you have a clear view of what you can do, for more info of each place, including opening hours and prices, check out our website, culturefrancia.com. The links are in the description. And to support our work, like, subscribe, and comment. And for more videos about the French Riviera region, check out our dedicated playlist popping up on the screen. See you in the next video!